Hi, welcome to Dakota Hill Art Studio. I'm Katie Smith. Today I wanted to show you how I frame up one of my waxed watercolor paintings that's on a wood panel. So here I have a plein air frame. This is purchased from jerrysartorama.com. It's called the plein air linen mat. So you can see that it has this fabric mat on it. This is a 5x7 frame. Now I'm going to be mounting this painting that I did, watercolor painting with Daniel Smith paints. I'm going to be mounting that in this frame. So I'm just going to get started here. When you get your frame in the mail, it comes very nicely packaged, nice and secure. I like to take these staples out of the back while it still has the cardboard on it, because it cushions it so that I don't damage the frame at all. And I just use a flathead screwdriver and pry these up, get the corner up on each one, and then I'll get my pliers out and use the pliers to get the rest of it. Okay, there's also one in here at the edge that has the hanging hardware. The D-rings are hooked right on here with another staple. It's the same staple that the corners are stapled on with. This one can be a little bit more tricky to get under. I have these flat pliers that make easy work of pulling these out. Just twist it and they pull right out. Now these plein air frames are traditionally used for oil paintings, and the reason why they're called plein air is because this is the style of frame you would use if you were to do an oil painting, like at a plein air show, and then frame a wet painting. There's no back on them, so they're not designed for traditional framing with a mat like you would normally have with a watercolor. That's why I love to use them with the waxed watercolors, because once you wax the watercolor, you don't need the glass in the mat. So you're able to use these open back frames with no glass, and they make a beautiful presentation for waxed watercolors. So here's what it looks like in there. Isn't it just gorgeous? Okay, so I position my painting. These wood panels are just slightly smaller than the opening in the back. And again, this is a 5x7. So I can have a little bit of play in there if I want to shift it around a little bit, find where it looks like it's level. You can look at the verticals and the horizontals and see what level looks like. If it was a seascape or lake or something, then of course I would be using the water line on the horizon as my straight line. Once you get it where you want it, flip it over, and then I have this Logan driver. It's a point driver, and I'm using the rigid points in it, which are the silver ones. Just hold it at the edge there, and it shoots in these points, which are going to hold my panel in place. You can pick these up at any of the art stores, any of the good art stores. I got it at Hobby Lobby in my town. Michael's and Joann's, neither one carried them. But that might be different online or something, but Hobby Lobby. And it sure saves a lot of time. Okay, and I just push those down. Flat. Okay, I'm going to turn it over again just to make sure that I'm attaching the hardware on the correct part of it. So the hardware is going to go at the top. So I'm going to flip it over this way, and the hardware is going to go up here. In the little bag that comes with this plein air frame, there are 2 D-rings and 4 screws to attach with. So set these screws over our side. Now the D-rings, you want to attach them so that they're about 1/3 of the way down on your frame. So if you just divide your frame up into thirds, you want to put it about at 1/3. Okay, and I come out pretty close to the edge, not to where it's going to show or anything, but pretty close to the edge. It gives enough space for the wire to be across the middle. This is honestly the hardest part because I don't pre-drill. You could get a little tiny drill bit and pre-drill these holes and make it a lot easier, but I don't. So it can take a little bit of elbow grease, right? A bit of strength, kind of hold it in place and turn it. Once you get it started, it goes right in, but if you wanted to save this, get a little drill. I need to add a little one to my framing kit. The angle of these is about 60 degrees is what you're looking for. It doesn't have to be exact though. The nice thing with using the wire for hanging is that there's room for adjustment. So even if I don't get these D-rings in exactly the right spots, the wire is going to make up the difference for me, and it'll be fine. This one's going to be a tough one on me. Of course, when I'm doing a video, right? Try a different screwdriver. Oh, I might not have enough bite. I think it's slipping. Nope. It's just a tough spot. Usually that's hard to get in, so it's just being difficult. Okay. When you're doing your framing, you might want to double check with your local gallery and see what their requirements are for the hangers. My gallery, this is the style that they like. I believe the spacing off the top they want is at least 2 inches from the top of the frame to the wire, which I should have when I finish this. Now that panel that I have that watercolor painting mounted onto, it's just a thin birchwood panel. You can buy this at the craft store as an art panel. You can even go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy a full sheet of it that is 2 foot by 4 foot, cut it down, whatever size you want. putting power tools on my Christmas list, I think, after doing this one. I've never had one this difficult, you guys. Could be because I just framed 8 of them though. I'm tired. Alright, next up is the wire. I have this, it's called Super Soft Strand. It's a 43-pound, it holds a 43-pound picture, so which is nowhere near 43 pounds, so I'm not concerned that it's not going to hold it. Okay, so the way that you attach this wire is you go down through the D-ring, go around, or under, I guess, under, back into the hole, and then up through it again. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. It kind of looks like a pretzel. I did not do that right. Just a second. Around. There we go. You'll know if you had it the right way or not, because both of these should be underneath, coming through that loop. Okay. And then I'm going to tighten it up. Just pulling on it, pull strands like that. Okay, and then I'm going to stretch this across to the other D-ring and measure a length of it for the wrapping part and cut that off with my pliers. This wire that I'm using has a plastic coating on it, which is really nice. It doesn't hurt the hands like some of the wire can. Okay, at this step I'm going to add in 2 pieces of oxygen tubing. These are going to be what hold the ends of the wire just to finish it off. It looks really nice in the end. Okay, we're going to attach the wire the same way on this side. I'm going to go down through the D-ring. I'm going to pull it tight with my pliers here. Get a nice snug fit. Okay, going to go around and back up through. And then bring it back through the hole that I made, or the circle, the loop that I made. I'm going to pull that tight. Ooh, I almost lost you. Alright, and then you just slide your tubing over that end. This one, my wire is longer than my tubing. You can see there that it would stick out if I did it. So I'm going to trim this wire a little bit so that it's behind the tubing, that end of it. We're almost done. Go. I'm going to take a couple of cork, adhesive cork stickers and put them down here on the corners. These little bumpers, so that when it's hanging on the wall, it's not, the frame is not touching the wall at all. Those little cork bumpers will be what touches the wall. Okay, and then the last step is to attach your business card onto the back. So I'm going to use some regular gel, matte gel medium. And I'm going to do it right over top of the sticker for the frame. I don't even have to take that frame sticker off of there. And then I'll also go back and handwrite right on this white wood on the back of the panel, I'm going to write the details about the painting. I'm going to write the title of it, the location. This was a plein air painting I did at Montaña de Oro State Park in Los Osos, California. So I'm going to write all that information right on the back. That way the collector has everything that they need to know about how to contact me when they want to buy another painting. They'll be able to tell their friends exactly where this location is. And if for some reason it ever gets separated from the frame, the writing will be right on this white part. And so it'll still be with it. It's not on the frame itself. There you go. That's how you use a plein air frame for a waxed watercolor on a panel. Thanks for watching. If you want more information on waxed watercolors, check out the Facebook group called Waxed Watercolors, or go to my website, katiesmithartist.com. Thank you.